Philip to Evelyn, November 30th, 1943. Dearest darling, since there was no new mail yesterday, and I doubt very much that there will be any today, I thought I would answer some of the questions you posed in your last batch of letters. First, you want to know how come I was off on a Thursday when I'm supposed to be working 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 4:45. Well, I remember very well the day in question. The reason I didn't work Thursday was that I had been on duty all day Wednesday, and in addition from 12 midnight to 7:45 a.m. Thursday. What that duty was, I am not free to say, but I think that should answer your question. In your letter of the 9th, you mentioned the dance hall catastrophe in London. You must have felt pretty much as I did when I read of the train wreck near Philly that took so many lives. The first thing that occurred to me when I read the news was that our Jack might have been on that train. Just as you did, I spent some uneasy moments wondering about it. I actually drew a great sigh of relief when I knew that my fears were unfounded. You probably know by now that yours truly was far from London at the time of the unfortunate accident. That is all it amounted to because, contrary to your impression, such incidents are extremely rare, even in London, and is not likely ever to happen again. Furthermore, that was definitely not the reason for our passes being held up. The real reason was that the CO couldn't see his way clear to leaving so many of the company on pass at a time when we were pretty busy and needed every available man. Now that we are to get our passes bi-monthly again, I'll be heading for London as per usual. I, who have been in London and know whereof I speak, feel perfectly safe. And there's a large portion censored here. I don't consider it at all dangerous to spend a few days in London, nor will I have you thinking and worrying about it that way. Enough said? You must have completed knitting your sweater by now, and I'm wondering if you saw any merit in the design I submitted a few weeks ago. There are a few other things about which I wonder from time to time. For instance, are you going to spend that first $50 I sent for Christmas presents, or are you determined to disregard my wishes? Did you buy something nice for Adele as page 2, her birthday present from me? Did you take the pumpkin to Claire Pruitt yet, or are you waiting an opportune time? Of course you realize, sweet, that since I have sent you all my surplus cash, I won't be able to give you that $50 I promised for that picture, but I think you're sport enough not to let that influence your decision to have it made. You tell me that you are receiving mail from Jack, but you never tell me what he has to say. Surely he tells you something of his circumstances and duties. I have not heard from him since he arrived in Australia, although I have written twice since then. Don't forget to tell me how and what he is doing. Glad to hear that you finally had your teeth taken care of. Where did you get that pied, see dictionary, stationery? Your letter of the 8th is on yellow paper, and that of the 9th on green. Any day now I'm expecting one on sky blue pink or something. Evidently the cherub is fulfilling my fondest wish, that she be a pretty little girl. You have no idea how gratified I am by her rapid progress in general and her uncommon beauty in particular. You deserve a world of credit, honey, and I, for one, am not a bit backward about admitting it. I don't have to admonish you to take good care of her. I know you will. Today is payday, and I won't be sending a money order off directly. I'm hoping you won't be too let down, Chippy, that I can only spare $20 at this time, but I'm sure you'll understand when I tell you that I must leave myself enough for 4 days in London next month, and perhaps a furlough. Heretofore, when I could afford to gamble, I had plenty of money for everything, But now that I must send my steak to you, those good old days are gone forever, and I won't pretend that I don't mind. I do. However that may be, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, and I agree wholeheartedly that I have no business risking money that I can send to you. Originally, I had planned to send $25, but then I found we can only send money in tens of dollars. And since I couldn't possibly spare $30, you'll have to be content with 20. As yet, I have not heard whether or not Mom received my letter, and I'm wondering if she is meaning to answer it. How is she feeling these days? Give her my love and remind her that I'm expecting to hear from her. Keep punching, baby, because you have all your fears on the ropes. If you keep them that way, you will eventually knock them out. If the metaphor puzzles you, what I mean is, everything is hunky-dory and getting better daily. Don't be afraid to hope, because I got a hunch you won't be disappointed. Above all, remember the watchword, patience. I love you, my darling, more and more with the passing days. My love to all, your Phil.